Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about my top 4 fragrance picks for the month of October. And these are basically what I would call favorites if I were doing this at the end of the month, but because I want you to be able to go pick them up or pull them out of your stash or find something similar that you already have in your stash or whatever so that you can enjoy them through the whole month along with me, I'm going to do them at the beginning of the month instead of the end of the month. So fragrance for me in October, it's one of those months where there's not necessarily anything specific that jumps out at me. You know, I think in spring and summer, a lot of times we think of, especially spring, we think of fruity things and floral things, and in the summertime we think a lot of like coconut and those types of smells. And I think around, Thanksgiving time, and sometimes in the fall, we think a lot about food-related smells. And, we have these certain ideas of what fragrances fit at certain times of the year. October for me is a month where there isn't anything in that way that tends to stand out in my mind. And so I usually go more for sexy in October, something that's deep and rich and sexy. It's deeper and richer than something that you would want to wear in the summertime when it's hot, because it is fall now, and the temperatures are cooling and you're wearing longer sleeves and all that kind of thing. So you want something a little more musky a lot of times and a little less sweet a lot of times. And then we're thinking about costumes and dressing up and, playing a character or being a little bit different. For a lot of people that's, this is their one time where they dress super sexy and that kind of thing. But it's not really about that for me. It's just more about that warmth and you imagine sitting by a fire, and I don't know, it's just that type of a feel that I get from the fragrances that I would want to wear in October. And for lack of any other better word for it, I call that sexy. Okay, so I choose sexier scents for the month of October. So the first one I'm going to show you is one that you're going to need to pull out of your stash if you have it. This is a fragrance by Avon, and it's a fragrance spray. So it's kind of, sort of like a body spray, a body splash type fragrance. And this was called Silk and Velvet. And it looks like this. And this is supposed to make you feel like you are, putting on something silky or velvety, against your skin when you get out of the shower. That's what this fragrance is supposed to kind of, that's what they wanted to invoke in you, that kind of a thought with it. So it is a musk base. This one is probably the softest of the ones I will show you. It leans a little more towards one of those sort of a baby powder type of a musk scent. Really nice and light, not a heavy scent. Not going to remind you of dirty diapers or anything like that. It's just a soft, subtle, kind of low musk. And if you've ever smelled Sweet Honesty before, it's similar to that, but softer and lighter. And yeah, it's just a really nice, this is something that, you really can imagine spraying this on and then throwing on your kind of warm flannel shirt, or, grabbing a blanket and curling up and heading out by the fire, or drinking some hot tea or some hot chocolate, or, making s'mores, or any of those kind of things that you think of, kind of doing relaxing with, maybe even curling up and relaxing with a book or something. That's what this scent reminds me of. It's subtle enough that it is kind of perfect to spray on and just, throw your warm items on and kind of curl up somewhere. That's what this reminds me of, and I think that's just perfect for October. Then if you are somebody who likes something a little more light, or a little more fruity, which I am one of those people. My favorite scents are fruity scents, baked goods scents, and then I do like musks. So if you're somebody who likes something a little more fruity, this is technically a floral, but it's a fruity floral is how I would describe it. And this is kind of old school bottle and packaging, but this is good old fashioned Love Spell from Victoria's Secret. It's part of the Victoria's Secret Garden line. And it is a floral, but it's a sweet floral. So I can't really, I wouldn't describe it as fruity, but it has that same sweet scent that a fruity fragrance would have if you've never smelled it before. And it's just light and it's nice, but it's not, it doesn't feel out of place in the fall time. It doesn't feel so sweet and fruity that you feel like this should be a spring scent or this should be a summer scent. It's soft enough and subtle enough that you can get away with it in the fall. And it's just a nice one. So if you're somebody who prefers those kind of scents, then this would be my pick for you. Then we get into the more kind of sexy, sultry scents. And the first one that I'm going to show you, this is actually, I actually have a lot of Avon fragrances this month. Interesting. So this is an Avon fragrance, and this is the Amari Mystique. So the boxes look like this. This is one you're going to have to pull out of your collection because they don't, you can't get this one anymore. The notes in this are black iris, sensual honey, and sultry woods. Okay, so it is musky, but the woods are kind of almost cologne-like. They're still soft and feminine. They don't kind of go over that intensity into a cologne scent, but they're close to that. And then it's a floral. The iris is a floral that is kind of a powdery floral, not like baby powder. It has a sweetness to it, and so it's not overpowering for me. Amari Mystique is one of my favorite fragrances that Avon has done. In the past 5 or 10 years, I really enjoy it. So you guys know that I don't like florals, so if I like it, you'll probably like it too. And this is just deeper and sexier and richer. And this is one of those that you kind of would, if you're going to go on a date or something, you might spray a little closer. You might want somebody to kind of lean in and want to smell it a little closer. That's this kind of fragrance. It's just a little more sultry and a little more sexy, but it's still subtle. It's still subtle as long as you don't overdo it. It's a nice subtle lean into that type of vibe. And then one that is a little stronger, still not overpowering unless you overdo it, because you can overdo anything, but a little stronger than the Mystique is the Faraway Exotic, also by Avon. And this one is Chai Spice, Saffron Rose, and Amber Musk. So again, it's a musk base. Bottle looks like this. And this one is deeper and richer than the Mystique. Mystique has that iris kind of lifts it a little bit into a lighter, floral category. Kind of, there's a little bit of a sweetness to iris, but I wouldn't describe it as a sweet floral. I would still describe it as a musk. This one doesn't have that that floral zing to it. This is a lot more about that muskiness. But it's still soft. It's still not overpowering. I think a lot of people are afraid of musk, or they tried some type of generic musk when they were a kid, or somebody, used to bathe in it basically and overpowered them. And people try, I don't know, I think you're around a bad musk one time and it contaminates you for musks, I think, in a lot of cases. And so I think musk can be one of two things. It can be a very young scent. A lot of times when somebody creates a fragrance that's designed for a child, like a young girl, for like a play type fragrance, it will be a soft musk base. But then on the flip side, it's also a much more mature, sultry, sexy scent as well. And that is, for me, what this one is. sultry and sexy, and this is one of the ones that you're just gonna kind of, squirt right down there, and lure the man in, that type of thing. It's a little sexier. This is when you want to be a little more sexy and grown up. But it's still suitable for that flannel shirt. I can still imagine all of these, curled up in the flannel shirt or in the blanket. They're all soft enough that you can do that as well as dress up in, a sexy black dress and your heels and, go out, that kind of thing. So there you have it. So those are my picks. Those are my top 4 picks for the month of October. Tell me what you would be wearing. Tell me if you have any of these already. Tell me if you will be getting any of these. And you tell me what your favorite scents are for October and what fragrances you think of when you think of the month of October. Put that all down in the comments. And up next, I will be doing my weekly favorites. And then next week, I'm going to be posting my nail polish picks for the month of October. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Bye!